Hello friends, one of our subscribers sent this realistic story, so let's get started. Jack Dawson, my cubicle neighbor for the past 5 years. Jack was a walking contradiction. He arrived punctually every morning, meticulously dressed in a suit that looked fresh out of a fashion magazine, yet his desk was a labyrinth of disorganized paperwork and empty coffee cups. His charisma drew colleagues like moths to a flame, yet he was the quietest person in our department. The office was a treasure trove of oddities. The vending machine inexplicably dispensed double snacks, the elevator often skipped the 13th floor, although it was labeled, and office supplies vanished without a trace, only to reappear in the oddest places. One day, I entered the break room to find Jack surrounded by co-workers, regaling them with a story about a talking coffee machine that offered life advice. As he spoke, I couldn't help but wonder if the strangeness of our office was simply a reflection of the peculiar souls who inhabited it. Little did I know, my own bizarre journey within these walls was about to begin. As I returned to my desk that day, still perplexed by Jack's coffee machine tale, I couldn't shake the feeling that our office had more secrets than met the eye. Little did I know, my own encounter with the inexplicable was just around the corner. It began innocently enough. I had spent weeks preparing a meticulously organized presentation for an important client meeting. It was my magnum opus, the culmination of sleepless nights and endless cups of coffee. But when I arrived at work on the fateful morning of the presentation, my heart sank. The presentation was gone. Panic set in as I tore through my desk, but it was nowhere to be found. I turned to Jack, hoping he might have seen something, but he simply shrugged and sipped his coffee, as nonchalant as ever. Desperation led me to the office supply room, where I encountered Sarah, the office manager. She had a reputation for being efficient to a fault. I explained my predicament, and she agreed to help me search the archives for a copy of my presentation. As we delved deeper into the maze of filing cabinets, the air grew colder, and I couldn't shake the eerie feeling that someone, or something, was watching us. Hours passed, and the search yielded nothing. My presentation, it seemed, had vanished into thin air. Sarah, now visibly shaken, whispered something about the office's document black hole. I scoffed at the notion, but her fear was all too real. As days turned into weeks, my missing presentation became a mere footnote in the ever-growing list of office oddities. Desks would spontaneously rearrange themselves overnight, and the printer would occasionally produce pages of gibberish. Whispers of the office curse spread like wildfire, but I remained skeptical, chalking it up to overactive imaginations. One evening, I found myself working late, engrossed in a spreadsheet. The office was deserted, bathed in the eerie glow of fluorescent lights. Suddenly, I heard a soft, melodic hum. Startled, I looked around but found no source for the sound. It seemed to be emanating from the walls themselves, as if the building itself were singing. The hum grew louder, and I followed it down the darkened hallway, drawn by an irresistible curiosity. It led me to a door I had never noticed before, tucked away in a corner of the office. The door was unassuming, but something about it felt wrong, like a puzzle piece that didn't quite fit. With trembling hands, I turned the handle and stepped inside. My breath caught as I beheld a room unlike any other. It was a library, but not of books. It was a repository of documents, thousands upon thousands of them, stacked floor to ceiling. I couldn't comprehend the sheer volume of information contained within those walls. Intrigued and bewildered, I began to explore the room, picking up documents at random. Each one seemed to hold a piece of someone's life, a birth certificate, a love letter, a business contract. It was as though this room was a vault of the collective memories of the office's occupants. Then, I stumbled upon it, the missing presentation. It lay on a dusty shelf, right next to a collection of old expense reports. I couldn't believe my luck. But as I reached for it, a voice echoed through the room, sending shivers down my spine. "Choose wisely," it whispered, and I knew I wasn't alone. The documents around me began to shimmer, their words coming to life in a surreal dance. They whispered secrets and promises, and I understood that this room held a power beyond my comprehension. With trembling hands, I reached for the presentation, but it slipped through my fingers, vanishing once again. The room grew still, and the voice spoke again. "You are not ready." I fled the room, my heart pounding, and slammed the door shut behind me. The humming ceased, and the office returned to its usual state of chaos. Since that day, I've been haunted by the strange room, by the knowledge that it holds answers to questions I can't even begin to ask. The office's mysteries have only deepened, and I find myself drawn deeper into its enigmatic depths. As I write this, I can't help but wonder what other secrets lie hidden within those walls, what other strange stories are waiting to be uncovered. The office, it seems, is determined to keep me engaged in its mysteries, and I can't help but oblige, for I have become a part of its strange tale. Thanks for watching. Comment below for second part of the story.